Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with a brand new review of Put a Ring on It Season 2, Episode 9. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back, child. Y'all late, honey, but just catch up and we're going to get into it as we get into it. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, Jessica is still talking about the Mother's Day debacle and how Eric basically fumbled the ball, right? So Dr. Nicole said, so how did the next day look? He said, I told her I apologized and we could have done something later. So Dr. Nicole said, and what did you want in that moment? He said, I want acknowledgement, not just her disregarding my feelings. Well, Eric, honey, it's simple, okay? The fact that you know her issues with her mom and you know she's trying to be the best mom that she can be, and the fact that she's not getting that acknowledgement from you and you already know her past trauma. I mean, I know you want some acknowledgement and whatnot, but it's really not about you. Moving forward, Dr. Nicole said, so you see how personal it is for you? She said, everything you said is what she said. Your blessing is going to come from understanding the both of you want the same things. Yes, honey. Y'all be saying the same things in two different ways. Child, you mean no harm, but I mean, it's like y'all talking in circles. She is the male version of you and you are the female version of her. And quite frankly, it feels like y'all just want some attention. Child, let's keep going. Communication for the two of you is going to be key. Another thing, Eric, let me just give you a little tip, honey. Just put a flower or something on the table before you leave. If you have something to do that day and you know you're not going to be able to give your all, then just do like a little rose or a little card, something for her to wake up to, honey. Even send a happy Mother's Day good morning text, something, child. Dr. Nicole asked Sean if he was able to relax and enjoy himself on his date. He said, okay, yeah, the first date, I was extremely attracted to her. And the second date, I realized that I could just talk and not be intimidated and I can control it. And so Dr. Nicole asked LaRonda what she felt about that. She said, it sounds to me like some growth. And it is. I'm really proud of him, honey. He's moving on out of college and graduating and whatnot. She said at first she didn't know if she could trust him if he didn't trust himself. Oh, honey, our little Sean is growing up. Moving forward. So then Dr. Nicole asked LaRonda about her date. So she shared that they had a lot of things in common, a lot of similarities, and she started to stumble a bit. She was like, and he also, and okay, girl, honey. LaRonda, are you feeling Derek like that? Honey, I didn't think he was giving the zhuzh like that. Okay, girl. I mean, I know not for me. Now, personally, I'm not dating him. But when I see the two of you together, I just get father-daughter relationship. Now, I know everybody was like, well, he's a man and Sean is a boy. This is why I think you guys feel like LaRonda is so much more mature than Sean is. LaRonda is able to, let me see, not mask her emotions, but LaRonda is able to keep her emotions intact. And Sean, on the other hand, is a ball of emotions. Does that make him a little boy? No, it doesn't. It makes him an emotional man. And judging from this episode and episodes prior, he's had a lot of childhood trauma. So the fact that he's able to be vulnerable in those moments, I actually appreciate those things. So yeah, I'm looking at Sean and I'm looking at Derek and child, I don't know, honey. Do what's best for you. So Dr. Nicole said, you actually sound like you're nervous talking about a date. She said, no. Dr. Nicole said, I'm just saying. Honey, y'all notice how the riddle stopped once Darian and Alexia left? Now, Dr. Nicole was talking about you having a blank canvas and you need some paint and you're going to have to scrub it down and then take an easel and stick. Child, she had all kinds of analogies, okay? But as soon as they left, she was like, I'm just saying. Charlie was stressing out Dr. Nicole. Honey, I'm not about to be bothered. Baby, when he heard everything that LaRonda had to say about Derek, Sean rolled his eyes so good. I said, oh, honey, he's upset. So then in his confessional, he said, I didn't think you liked him like that. Listen, Sean, honey, I didn't either. Okay, but hey, what do we know? What do we know? Moving forward. Eric starts talking about his date with Leilani. He said they went to a wine bar and she was rubbing all over his body. Eric, she touched your arm and she leaned in a little bit. Okay. She wasn't rubbing all over you. You are painting the wrong picture. So Jessica was like, I told him that I didn't like all that touching. And I really feel like I'm not being heard. So then Eric said, I didn't think it was going to go to this extent. So Dr. Nicole said, well, when you have concerns, do you want her to disregard your feelings or do you want her to be accountable? He said, I want her to be accountable. Child, listen, don't worry, Jessica, okay? Eric putting a lot of stank on it. Leilani comes from a culture where they like to touch. Honey, it's fine. She's not touching him like, let's get it popping. She's basically touching him like they touch. So Jessica starts talking about her date with old blockhead Sean. Honey, something about Sean just does not sit right with me, and we're going to get into it as we get into it. So she said, he saw himself in her future, and she's like, I didn't even wear makeup when we went on our date. So Dr. Nicole said, so you feel comfortable enough to wear no makeup? She said, yeah, I did. I was just 100% Jessica. Jessica, honey, I hate to break it to you, but like Eric said, honey, you're beautiful either way. You don't wear a ton of makeup anyway, so I really didn't even notice the difference. But I mean, if you feel like he's letting you be your authentic self, then girl, go and set yourself off. And what I think she means by that, this is just me putting on my little psychologist hat. I don't know nothing, honey. I'm not certified. But what I think she means when she says that Sean allows her to be her 100% authentic self, when she's talking and she's being all feminine and giddy and touchy feely and saying little cute things, he admires and appreciates that. Whereas Eric is like, oh, she doesn't have any substance. We don't talk about anything with any depth. She can't answer my questions. She's never here for me. So when she get over here with Sean and honey, he following on her every word. She can cough and he'll be like, oh my God, I didn't realize you were going to cough like that. She likes that because it definitely has nothing to do with the makeup, honey. You were popping before, you still popping now. Sean is just happy to be in the presence of a baddie. Okay, now, if you're speaking about being able to not be a slave to makeup and feeling confident, then I get that. But other than that, child, I don't trust Sean as far as I can throw him. Moving forward. So Dr. Nicole told them this week they can either go on another date or they can go on no more dates. So child, let's see what they gonna do. So Sean said, I don't want to go on any other dates. I did what I set out to do, and I actually see the value in dating one queen. Honey, as you should. I'm proud of you, little man. I am very proud of you. You have come a long way since episode 1. I hope y'all two can continue to grow and see the value in each other. Rhonda actually said yes to the mess, honey. And just like that, we are on the other side of the spectrum. But you know what I really appreciated about LaRonda? And I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of the fact that you said yes, even though he said no. Because y'all know in previous episodes, LaRonda was doing what she thought Sean wanted her to do. So whatever answer she gave, she waited for him to give his answer first. But this time she did something that was suitable for LaRonda. And I really appreciated the growth, honey. So Sean was like, Sean needs to be eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner with this dude, but I respect the process. But then in the next breath, he gonna say in his confessional, it seems like she's really feeling this dude. Well, honey, it seems that way, but we shall see. So Jessica decides to go out with Sean in his hat one more time. Dr. Nicole says, so how do you feel about that? And Eric said, not good. Of course you don't feel good. But honey, don't worry about her date. Because we saw what you were doing all up and through that seesaw spa, whatever y'all were going to, honey. We saw what you were doing all up and through that spa, child. Jessica said, she likes being heard. So if Eric is not doing what he should be doing, then he should be worried. So Eric said yes to going out again with Leilani. He said he's nervous though because he's feeling too good going out on these dates. You definitely were feeling real good. And I do mean real good. I think these two may just need to be cool. Okay, maybe y'all don't need to be in a relationship. Maybe y'all can just be like, I used to talk to him or I used to talk to her. Go on about your life, honey, because it don't seem like it's working out the way that y'all want it to work out. Neither of their needs are being met, and honey, they're more excited to go on the dates than to go home with each other. So Dr. Nicole lets them know that this week's assignment is family. This week she wants them to see if their families influence their dating. Basically, do your mom and them like me or not? That's basically what she want to know. Listen, this is my opinion. This is just my unsolicited opinion. In a marriage, having a good dynamic with their family is a good thing, but you aren't marrying the family. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So in the car, honey, they riding home, right? Eric and Jessica, and they're talking about what happened with Alexia and Darion, right? So Jessica said she doesn't think she could come back from that. She's like, look, no more chances. You will be dead to me. Honey, just said one and done. Do y'all hear me? Eric, honey, you looking a little nervous, bruh. Honey, you looking a little nervous, sweating and everything. When she said that, Eric said, oh, wow. Yeah, oh, wow. Oh, wow is right. Honey, Eric is a mess. She letting you know right now, honey, she is putting you on notice. Don't try it, because she ain't the one or the two. So then she said, after hearing what happened with those two, she side-eyeing Eric. I know that's right, honey. Sis, everybody's a suspect. Nobody can be trusted. Okay, I'm watching everybody. She said if Eric did that, she didn't know what she would do. She would probably be locked up, won't let her out. Where's her lawyer? Shout out to Akon. Honey, she said she not about to play them games. So Eric swings it right back to her date. He was like, so you going on a fourth date with old dude? That ain't got nothing to do with what she talking about. I feel a little deflection, Eric. Honey, I'm just saying. She said, yeah, I feel like I can just be Jessica. He said, so you don't feel like you have ever been just Jessica with anybody else? She was like, with you? No, not lately, because everything between us is just so wishy-washy. I mean, 1 minute we're good, and the next minute, it's a fool. Well, child, honey, that's every relationship. Even if you get out of a relationship with Eric, you could be up one day and down the next. That's how relationships work. Or maybe that's just me. So Eric said, at the end of the day, he's grown and he's trying to be with Jessica. And if she doesn't see that, then she needs glasses. Well, honey, let's not talk about who needs a prescription pad, honey, because I've been saying for the longest, we're going to need to get something done to that head. Now, Eric, I like you, but we're going to have to do what needs to be done. Okay? It's a lot of baggage that needs to be cut. Pun intended. Well, honey, listen, at this point, Jessica is pissed because of Darian, and honey, he done pulled this little stunt. So at this point, anybody can get it. So just sit quiet and wait till y'all get home, child. In the next scene, at Sean and LaRonda's house, they're having a talk, right? And she asks about him talking to his mom. He was like, I talk to them every day. I talk to them about what we going through and what we've been doing, right? She said, yeah, I talk to my family. And they're like, girl, don't let him go on these dates. Don't let him get loose. Don't let him go. Somebody gonna snatch him up. Child, Sean ain't going nowhere. Child, let's move on. He loves her and her family dynamic. He said, he loves the fact that she has a tight-knit family. So Sean said when he was growing up, domestic violence was a big thing, and his dad chose the bottle over them. You know what? That is just awful. LaRonda said, well, have you talked to your dad? He said, no. So then she talks about how her dad is the world to her and they're super close. He said, yeah, your dad's the world to you and my mom is the world to me. Now, this is where LaRonda kind of lost me a little bit. Listen, at some point, yes, Sean is going to have to work through his past traumas in order to be a whole person in this relationship. I understand that. But she said that she wouldn't feel comfortable being married to Sean if he didn't heal his relationship with his dad. LaRonda, in Sean's case, he needs to heal himself. There's nothing that his dad can do for him, honey. His relationship with his dad will take years to repair. And I thought the premise of you coming on this show was for you to get the ring, honey. I don't think that that's fair. His relationship with his parent that is present is great. Okay. Yes, he has grown up and he has gone through some things. But if you're looking for an excuse to leave, just say that. Child, because that don't make no sense. I don't feel like he should have to mend his relationship with his dad in order to marry you. There is some really deep-seated and deep-rooted issues, and it's not going to be solved before he decides to put a ring on it. So Sean was like, it's not good for me. So why would I put myself in a situation that isn't good for me? And honey, I 100% agree. So Eric is on his way to his third date and they're going to the salt room. He said he's been feeling stressed at home, so he could use some relaxation with someone else. Say what now? Honey, it's looking like you're trying to figure out how to have an excuse to cheat. Okay, let me find out, y'all. So he goes in. Leilani looked cute in her little Pink Panther jumpsuit, but she reads so much older than him. Maybe it's just me. When I was watching the two of them together, I was like, why does she read so much older? She says she feels like their connection is growing. Okay, girl. She says she brought him there because sea salt increases libido. Lady, leave his libido alone. It ain't no reason why you should be trying to increase his pieces and his whatnots and all his manly parts. It's okay. He don't need no help in the libido department. And Jessica, honey, be careful when you get home because you're going to end up pregnant tonight. You better be careful, honey, with all the sea salt and whatnot. So they put on their robes. Why y'all have on robes, I have no idea. Okay? I've been to one of those rooms before and I've never had to put on a robe, but that's just me. So they put on their robes and they go into this room. He starts acting like she's showing too much cleavage, but really he just wanted to be touching all up in a décolletage. Okay, I see right through you, Eric. So he touching all up on her chest and whatnot to try to close a little robe up. And they start talking about whatever, but Eric can't really focus on it, right? So then Eric goes, I didn't expect to get this intimate in the salt room, but I enjoy the peace. It feels good not to be fussing and fighting all the time. Peace feels good. Eric, honey, it's always peaceful in the beginning. It's later that we need an exorcist, okay? It's always peaceful in the beginning. We have nothing to fuss about. Okay, you're on your best behavior. You're all into me, honey. Nobody else has caught your attention for quite some time. So it's fine. It's when you start acting like you're acting right now that we have the problem. And didn't this lady tell you she didn't want you touching, laying, and feeling on this woman? Honey, where is the respect? So then they get up and they go lay down for whatever reason. Because I'm like, are y'all that tired? Honey, what is happening in here that you got to go lay your head on her pillow? Yeah, babe. And just relax, relax. Eric, get your bald head behind up. Eric, get your bald head behind right on up, honey. There ain't no reason for you to be laying down all up on this woman. So Eric is telling her he likes the experience. Honey, I'm sure you do. He is realizing what he's missing and what he wants more of. So he's like, what are you getting out of the experience? She's like, yeah, I'm learning to be more open and just say whatever comes to my mind without really thinking. Honey, well, Jessica does that all the time and he don't like that. So I'm trying to figure out what's different with you. Eric probably don't even know what this lady's saying. Honey, she talking and he just smiling and looking up at her, trying to get that piece or a piece. Honey, if y'all know what I'm saying. She said, Eric realizes with her what he's been missing. She's very affectionate and she's thoughtful and he's noticing that. And girl, you don't know that lady or their relationship. You don't know what they're missing. Honey, this is giving real Kai energy. And I don't like it. I said what I said and I ain't changing it. I don't like the way you talking in this confessional. He's like, so what's next? Honey, you going straight home? That's what's next. Child, pack up your robe and your hat and whatever else you got going on and head on to the house. Jessica told you she didn't like all that touching. And what do? Lay that hairline on that lady's bosom. Honey, I didn't like that. You are basically motorboating this woman. Y'all laying there acting like y'all having pillow talk. Child, it couldn't be me. In the next scene, Derek and his little legs go to the park to get his boxing on with LaRonda. He told LaRonda he liked boxing, so they're going to spar a little bit in the park. Child, LaRonda gets there and give him that little church hug. How you doing, Deacon Derek? Child, I'm not about to play with y'all. So LaRonda gets out there and they get to boxing or whatever. And she said Derek possesses a lot of the qualities that she wished Sean had. A leader, he's confident, he's goal driven, honey, got the coins and they're coining. So, we all know what you're trying to say, sis. She says Sean has them too, but he needs to be more confident. Sean has a lot of insecurities and they're stemming from childhood. So, I know LaRonda likes Derek's maturity, but for me, I just don't see the two of them together. So she says she has a lot to think about, right? LaRonda, let me find out this show was your way to escape. Eric and Jessica do the family assignment. Jessica said, you could tell a lot about a man based on how he treats his mom. Now, at first, I agree with you, in your assessment, because you definitely can tell a lot by the way that a man treats his mom. But in Eric's case, he treats his mom great. His mom seems to just be greedy and ungrateful. That's what I got from the situation. Now, I could be wrong. But let's keep going. This season has a lot of them having issues with their parents as well. She said they need to have a sit down, and he said nothing I do is ever good enough for her. So I'm not understanding why I need to sit down. Why should I keep reaching out to her? And you know what? Sometimes the parent needs to do some work. I'm not a fan of the children always reaching out. At the end of the day, whether you're 5 or whether you're 50, you are still the child in this case. And she's like, I'm really big on family. I was adopted. I didn't have my mom. And she said, basically, because of the love I was shown, I'm determined for y'all to work out. Now, I do appreciate the fact that she wants him to mend fences with his mom, but his mom has to meet him halfway. And if this is strictly about money, then her heart's already not in the right place. Now, that's just my opinion of it. Eric, this conversation seems a little deep, honey. Is this what you were looking for? Because you said, she'll not have a conversation of it all. So I'm just wondering if this was going to suffice or if we needed to dig deep. She says she's gone through a lot and it helped her to be the mom that she is today. And she also tells us in the confessional that She felt like if her mom didn't want her, then why would anyone else? Listen to me, Jessica. Okay, listen directly to me, honey. You are worthy of everything good. Okay? All you can do is make sure to be the best version of you that you can be. And somebody will appreciate that. Those that want you in their life will have you. Okay? I definitely want you to know that. Sometimes people aren't ready to be parents. Just because you can conceive doesn't mean you should conceive. But I don't want you to think that that has anything to do or any bearing on anyone else loving you or wanting you in their life. And all you have to do is just be the best mother that you can be. Be the example that you wish you had. That's all you can do. Child, that really hurt my little heart. I was like, man, Jessica is really showing these layers. So, she said her mom was a prostitute and her family was racist and they didn't accept her because her dad was black. That reminds me of the movie Imitation of Life. Have y'all ever seen that movie? That's exactly what that reminds me of. She said she was a dancer and people automatically thought prostitute when they saw her, but there are actual women that are out here hustling and trying to make ends meet for their families. Listen, I don't look down on nobody. You have to do what you have to do to survive and take care of your kids. So if that means bands will make her dance, bands will make her dance. Shout out to Juicy J. Then that's what you got to do. Child, please. I wish somebody would. Let me tell y'all something. I already told y'all in the previous review, honey, if these reviews don't work out, I'm going to be coming to the stage. I'm just saying. But I appreciated her vulnerability in this moment. It was very refreshing. And Jessica, I was wrong about you. You actually have some layers to you, honey. I'm seeing them more and more each episode. I mean, it's just a shame that it took us 9 episodes to get to the layers, but you have layers nonetheless. Moving forward. After they got done talking, Eric said he appreciated the conversation because it was definitely needed. And I appreciated seeing those two talk and Eric really being attentive and caring about what it is she had to say. All right, Eric, honey, you are all right guy. Now, you acted a fool in that little sea salt room or whatever y'all was doing, child. But other than that, I think you are all right guy. You got a good heart. You taking care of your mama. She's not reciprocating the love. And you're still trying to have more kids. You're a family guy. You're a jokester, like myself. And I just think you need a little bit of a push. But Eric, keep your head out of that heifer's chest. You hear me? In the next scene, oh yes, it's ladies' night. Shout out to Missy Elliott. Look him and them, honey. So the ladies go to check on Alexia after how Darion showed his black. And I really love it, honey. The sisterhood is beautiful to see. So they go to check in on her, right? So Alexia goes to get the Sutter home. Honey, nothing but the best for you ladies. Child, now don't y'all get down in these comments and try to act like y'all ain't never had no Sutter home, honey, trying to act all bougie. Everybody done had a little wino juice. I'm just saying. Well, that's at least what I call it. Alexia, I know it's only been a day, so I'm going to give you a chance to process. But get those pictures of Darion and his bracelets off of the wall. Okay, sis? Honey, he doesn't deserve any of that. So she tells them, she's annoyed because they asked how she's feeling. Honey, as you should be. And Jessica is like, that's why we're here. We're here to offer you encouragement. She said, look, I was just confused as to him saying they didn't exchange numbers, but then she got the number, and then you're saying you never cheat, but then you did cheat. She said, according to his timeline, they had sex on the 4th date after she told him she had feelings for him. No, ma'am, honey. No, ma'am. Smoke is all smoke and mirrors, honey, pun intended. He's a lie. Okay, let me tell you how it all happened. Even though I wasn't there, this is what happened in my mind. They had sex before then because she said she spent 2 nights at the condo. Now, unless y'all were getting into it as y'all get into it after the 4th date, how could she possibly spend 2 nights there? They had sex before that. That's why she stood up and was spinning all around talking about, oh, am I the help? Does this look like the help? Letting him basically know you weren't saying that last night. He planned to smash and dash, but got caught up. And that's what really happened. He cut her off after she started putting the pressure on him. That's what you get for laying down with dogs, honey. You get fleas. She said then after you got what you wanted, he just ghosted her. Aw, even after all that, she's still worried about Kai being ghosted. Because me? I wouldn't give a damn about Darion playing Casper with Kai. Wouldn't care in the slightest. But, I'm still working on my petty and whatnot, child. So you a better woman than me. And that's why you're going to get your blessings. So LaRonda asked if she had talked to him, right? She said, yeah, we talked. And then, he gave the standard ninja speech. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to. So you mistakenly fell off in her vagine. Okay, dude. Whatever. Okay? This was calculated. This was on purpose. This is what you wanted to do. Okay? I could tell from that first date. And y'all ain't fooling me. Child, goodbye. She said, so I'm looking at him now like, everything that I thought was going on is now true because you've confirmed it. And she's like, you threw our entire relationship away when you slept with her. And it isn't going to change today or tomorrow. Yes, Alexia, it's not going to change today, tomorrow, or the day after that. I'm so happy you are coming to terms with that. LaRonda said, look, at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself. Absolutely. It is all about you. Honey, stay strong, remain steadfast in your quest to take care of Alexia, and you will be okay. Trust me, honey, I have been there. It gets easier as the days go on, and you'll be perfectly fine. My heart just broke when she started tearing up and she hugged Jessica. Listen, don't stifle the tears. Cry, fall out, do whatever it is you need to do. But after you cry and fall out, honey, but don't let him see it, okay? And please don't record yourself crying on social media. But I know you ain't that kind of girl. Now, as soon as you get all the tears out and whatnot, stand up, look yourself in the mirror, and remember who the fuck you actually are. Child, I wish I would cry for Darian. She really did need their support because 14 years is a lot of time. But listen, what did Auntie Maxine Waters say, honey? It's time to reclaim your time. Moving forward. She said after 14 years, she's definitely freed herself and she has more respect for herself and she knows to choose herself over Darian. And she said, and whoever takes him, thank you. Not thank you. Child, Alexia said, thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you next, honey. She said she can be free to be herself without Darian holding her back. I know that's right, honey. Fantasia said it best. You know what I'm saying? There is nothing better than dropping dead weight. Child, let the smoke clear, pun intended, and then watch God bless you with the man that is your one. Okay? Nothing feels better than dropping some unwanted pounds. And he will come back, honey, because they always do. But I'm going to need you to stay strong. You can just let Miss Muppet have him, honey. She wanted him. She got him. All I can say is the streets is talking, honey, and karma is a boop. That's all I'm going to say on that. So for whoever has Darian, good luck, girl. Moving forward. Baby Sean has put together a little romantical day for Jessica. So Jessica walks up looking like a baby, okay? And she says Sean creates a safe space for her to be herself. So she asks Sean what he's been doing. He's like, besides thinking about you, ugh, the cornball of it all. So John tells her that the more they date, the more that he's feeling her. Well, you told her that 5 dates ago. So, I mean, child, anyway. She said after going on these dates, she's wondering why Eric don't do these things. Because he's gotten too comfortable, sis. Once they get comfortable, honey, they just start doing whatever. Like he was doing in that sea salt spa. Child. She said, well, what if this was your last time seeing me? He said, I would feel unfulfilled. Wow. Child, Sean started sweating and everything. Honey, I thought he was going to cry. I was like, not he's tearing up and whatnot. He said she's giving him hope. And he wants her to be genuinely happy. Lord, honey, both her and Eric are at a crossroads. See you at the crossroads so you don't get lonely. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. Child, not the crossroads, honey. So the final two couples show up to meet Dr. Ponytail. Okay, Dr. Nicole, looking snatched in that black dress, might I add. Okay, girl, you looking like something today. Okay, girl. So she asked Jessica and Eric about their discussion about family, right? Jessica says she thinks it went good. They came up with some resolutions about him talking to his mom. Dr. Nicole asked Eric what was the relationship challenge. He said, he just gives and gives and his mom just takes and takes. So Dr. Nicole said, well, is this new? He said, no, since I've been playing ball, that's the way that she's been. And when those NFL checks started rolling in, then she demanded more. He said, I was going to write a letter just to be able to get it out so that I can say what I need to say without her responding. And let me tell you something, I love that because I'm the same way. If I have something to say, sometimes I need to write it out. So I really did appreciate that. So Jessica said, she's proud that he's showing such growth. So then Jessica opens up to the group about her being adopted. And Dr. Nicole said, well, that's a different family dynamic. So how will that affect your relationship? She's talking to Eric. Eric said, it's actually going to bring them closer because he thinks it's a strong suit that she was raised by someone else and it made her into the woman that she is today. Okay, I love that, Eric. Jessica really felt seen in that moment and she needed that. So I'm happy that he gave her that. Jessica, Eric has a good heart. Okay, you just got to work with him, child. So then LaRonda talks about how big and tight-knit her family is and that she's very close to her dad. But when she brought Sean's dad up to him, he kind of shut down. Although I know some of Sean's issues come from relationship issues with his dad, I don't see why he needs to force interaction where there is none. If he gets the individual counseling to heal, fine, great. Okay, but this dynamic with his dad, That's separate from your relationship. He said he was an abusive alcoholic. Sean is like, if I see him, I see him. If I don't, I don't. So Dr. Nicole said, so what brought about the shutdown? He said, I came from a place of still needing healing. And I'm glad he can recognize that. When he said, well, how do you act when you have so much love for a person and they can't reciprocate that love to you? So Dr. Nicole said, resolution and reconciliation are two different things. Baby, honey, a word. Dr. Nicole said, if you're placing your healing on reconciliation, you may struggle until the day that you die. LaRonda, do you hear that? Honey, you might get a ring the day that he dies. Girl, goodbye. So Dr. Nicole said, when it comes to parents, you need to recognize that their choice is not always about you. We don't get to choose our parents. Child, we sure don't. She told Sean he didn't need his dad to heal. I completely agree with Dr. Nicole. Now we're talking about the dates. LaRonda goes first. She starts to talk about her date. She said he was feeling her, and she said no to the date because from the first date to this date, Sean has shown confidence. Y'all know he had that half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the first date, child. But now he can sit there and eat a full-on meal without throwing up. Growth. Moving forward. Jessica said she asked Sean what would he do if he didn't see her again, and she said, and he got teary-eyed. Dr. Nicole said, is that your first time seeing a man get emotional about you? And she said, yeah, the only time I've seen that is when they're angry. I feel like that's a red flag if you ask me. Honey, it gives me very much stage 5 clinger. Why are you crying about never seeing me again after 4 dates? Honey, it's screaming I'm about to set it off if we break up. Girl, you better run far away from Sean. Honey, it was weird to me. You don't know enough about her to be falling out and crying and all this kind of stuff. It's been 4 dates. Child, y'all said Sean. Baby, it's something about these Seans, honey, I guess. Name your child Sean and he might be emotional. I'm just saying. So she said Eric is the opposite, basically. He said, I've sent you things daily to show you that I care. And for you to say that I don't, that's just heartbreaking. He said, so this man has shown you more in 4 dates than I've shown you in 4 years? That's some BS. Listen to me, Eric. Sean is just enamored by Jessica's beauty, even if she doesn't think he is. She better wake up, honey. Just don't believe the hype. He loves the way you look, and he knows that he's never seen anything as good looking as you, even spent any kind of time with a man like him. And child, that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly how you felt about the episode. I felt it was okay. But let me tell y'all something, on and any other network that's doing these types of shows. If y'all gonna give us all the zhuzh that was Darion and Alexia, and then just drop us off at the end with all the sentimental, heartfelt stuff, it kind of feels like a gut punch, and honey, we're not getting what we deserve. So sprinkle the drama throughout the episodes and throughout the season so that when we get to the end, we don't feel like we're missing anything. Child, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.